Oh, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome back to Arsenic Candy Gaming. And welcome to Project Zomboid. For anyone living under a rock for the last 10 years, Project Zomboid is an isometric open-world zombie apocalypse survival simulator of sorts. Light RPG elements include the ability to level up your skills in crafting, etc. But there is no storyline, there is no end goal, there is no side quest. There is only the desire to live for as long as is possible before you inevitably pop your clogs. I've been playing Project Zomboid off and on since the launch of Early Access, somewhere close to 10 years ago now. I have been away from Project Zomboid for a huge amount of that time. But I want to play it again. There is lots of deeper explanation we could go into of how to set up a game, but we're not going to do that right now because I've tried to make this video multiple times today, and being away from making videos for a while has meant that it's very difficult to get my brain around words. So we're going to skip doing all of that. We're just going to jump straight into the game and see how long we last. I'll catch you on the other side. Okay, and here we are in the world. So we will, we've got a good landing actually. So when you spawn into a world of Project Zomboid, we've hit pause here so we can have a little explanation of what happens. You're spawned into a random house in the town that you have chosen to be in. Sometimes that's a little crappy trailer. Sometimes it's a 1-bedroom, 1 living area, including a kitchen and a bathroom. We seem to have spawned into a multi-room, 2-level house, which is a great start. One that we don't get very often, so we're going to enjoy it. I have created our character here, Devlin Randoon. Veterans to the channel might know that Devlin Randoon is a ongoing RPG character I've been using since, my goodness, Knights of the Old Republic on the Xbox. It was a random name generated by Knights of the Old Republic, and I have held onto it very tightly ever since. Devlin Randoon is a burglar, a skinny burglar, in fact. Skinny being one of his traits that cause him to be a little bit out of shape. He has some skills. He is relatively fit, relatively strong, and he is light-footed, meaning he doesn't make much sound when he moves around. He's nimble, meaning that he can scoot about quite easily whilst trying to protect himself in a fight, I think. And sneaking means that we can sneak about in crouched a little easier. All of that doesn't mean much at the moment. Suffice to say, the more that we use any of these skills, such as sprinting, the more we sprint around, the more that we build our sprinting skill, the more we use an axe, the more we build our axe skill. All self-explanatory stuff. So in the world around us, we have our inventory is a good place to start. So our inventory at the moment consists of the pockets of our clothing. So we have a carrying capacity of 12. If we were to get more pockets, I think that might help. But also, if we were to grab a backpack or a plastic bag we could put items in, that would distribute the weight a little better over our body. If we got stronger, through whatever means that we'd need to get stronger, we would increase our carrying capacity as well. We can loot items from the world around us in the various containers, such as wardrobes, cupboards, trash cans and such. And various items are to be found. We'll have a little explore. There is also, we're playing on the basic survival mode, which is the main version of playing, I guess we could say, from the original builds. There is a harder mode called Apocalypse. I haven't been playing it enough recently to risk playing Apocalypse. I don't wish to die too frequently, but one of the things that gives us is a little miniature map. A mini map, sorry. There is also a full-size map. This is a relatively new addition to the game. It wasn't in the game before I restarted playing it. So that is quite useful. You can also, if you have a pen or a pencil, you can mark locations on the map of interest that you can come back to. So while we're here, what we're going to do is we're going to take a little look out of this window and we'll take note of the fog of war that we've got here. We have a cone of vision. We can only see things that are within that cone of vision for the time that they're there. Once we are not looking anymore, they disappear from our view. So if they move, we don't know where they are. What we can do is we can close these curtains because the zombies of the world also have a cone of vision. If we happen to fall into that cone of vision and they're looking in our direction, they will spot us and they will come and they will try to kill us. So we're going to protect ourselves best we can by closing all of our curtains for the moment. I am going to hit pause. We don't normally do this, but we're going to pause whilst we look at our containers around us so we can explain some stuff. So we have some items that can be used for various things. We have cooking items, plates, tumblers, wine glasses, etc. We also have some foods. These are dried, tinned and packaged foods such as crisps, bouillon cubes, pasta, mac and cheese, all of these non-perishable food items that will last us the apocalypse. Also around us we have a refrigerator where we will find some fresh foods such as this cheese, ham and tomato. These foods are kept fresh because they are in the fridge, which is denoted by the fact that they are highlighted in blue. This is very important to know because in the future, an undisclosed time, the power will cease to exist. The electricity will cease to run. And so all of our electronic goods will stop working. And then all of our perishable foods will perish. Likewise with the freezer, we have frozen foods in here. If we were to take them out of the freezer, they would defrost and then they would begin to rot. So we need to keep them frozen. And we also need to eat these very quickly. I say very quickly. We need to eat those items before we eat our tinned goods, lest we die. But that's something we'll come to in a little while. We can cook any frozen foods or foods that need to be cooked in our oven by turning it on and placing it in. We'll come across that bridge in the future. One other thing to note while we're here, we have things like empty cooking pots, empty kettles. So in cooking pots we can use to cook food in, and baking pans we can cook food in, roasting pans we can cook food in. We can also use these items, we can chuck them out on the lawn. When it rains, they'll fill up with water, which is also useful because eventually the water itself will be cut off. For the moment, we can freely get water from a tap. That is not a luxury we will be able to take advantage of too far into the future. While we're here, we will grab, there is a rolling pin here, which we will grab and equip as our first melee weapon while we explore our house. What's this count? That's a washing machine there. There is a television around here somewhere, which will come in handy. For the moment, though, we might want to turn it off because the sound will attract zombies. Okay, so in here, we also have other things that would be worth noting. So we have some magazines here. We'll come back to those in a moment, but we have skill books. So skill books, we have volume 1 of fishing, volume 4 of foraging. As we mentioned before, we build up our skills by using them. If we were to read fishing volume 1 and then go fishing, we would increase the XP multiplier we have for our skill level 1 to 2, which comes in handy. It will save the time it will take us to level that up. Magazines. So not only do we have to survive in the apocalypse, we have to live in the apocalypse. And one of the prerequisites for being alive, I guess, or wanting to continue living, is our happiness. If our character spends his entire day sat at home reading fishing books and foraging books and cooking dinners and boarding up the windows, eventually he's going to get bored, and that will take a toll on his mental health, which in turn will take a toll on his physical health. So we have to keep our character entertained. There's a television here, which we can use to be entertained. We can also read the magazines that we find on a shelf. The books, we can complete crossword magazines. All of these things reduce our stress and our boredom. Capiche? There are also VHSs we can watch for entertainment. There might also be other things associated to watching DVDs and VHSs. Who knows? We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. One final thing before we move on. There is also interaction with the television where we can put on different channels. If we put on the life and living channel, there are information programs that appear. So programs that teach us how to cook, how to do the gardening, etc. And that in turn will level us up. If we're happen to be around a television at the time of day that those programs are on, just being in their presence, we will learn extra skills, which is great. Which is a great thing to have about. We're going to do some last explorations of our property. Painkillers and bandages, those will both come in handy. So bandages we can use to cover any cuts that we might get from anything from a zombie scratch to a cut that we get from jumping over a fence too quickly. Very essential. And painkillers, if we do happen to get injured, pain will cause us long-term discomfort. We can stop that pain by taking painkillers, obviously. And beta blockers stop with panic. There are other medications such as antidepressants, sleeping tablets should we struggle to sleep at night. All very handy stuff. We'll just turn on this light. So we've closed the curtains now. We can turn on this light. It'll be a little easier to see around our property. What have we got over here? So something that is going to come in handy for us if we can find one is a backpack. That's what we desperately need at the moment, is a backpack in order to carry more items in. A shell suit jacket, I don't think we need. Not at the moment, anyway. It might take a turn for the worse regarding the cold. We'll close these curtains. This is a great house to begin our zombie apocalypse in. I would recommend to myself that we find a way to cover all the windows, whether that be with sheets or towels, etc. And then look to maybe boarding up some of the windows so that we increase our survivability, I guess. We'll have a little explore around our yard to make sure that there is nothing ominous or even useful in our garden. There's a barbecue here that could well even contain some pre-cooked food. Not today, though. Excellent. So now all that's left to do is to explore our immediate surroundings. If we take a quick look at our map, we can see there are some large houses in the area. Large houses I believe have a higher chance of having house alarms on them. If a house alarm goes off, we're obviously going to attract the attention of any nearby dead folk, which we really don't want to do. We're going to cut through that bush to try and avoid getting into the line of sight of these zombies over here. It is a very slow and steady start. We don't want to running about for anybody who's played any zombie apocalypse survival game. You'll all know that running about is definitely going to attract somebody's attention, which we don't want to do. Well, not quite yet anyway. That fence is obscuring the line of sight of the zombies that were over by that house. Come on, get down. There we go. 2 dead zombies. Now we're here. We can talk about looting bodies. So we've knocked down 2 zombies now. We can check their inventory. Sometimes zombies have a chance of spawning things like keys or backpacks on them, which we'd be able to visually see. Sometimes even weapons. Sometimes a weapon buried in the back of the zombie that we're fighting. We have found a very useful item early days, a red digital watch. So at the moment we have no idea what time of day it is. If you find a watch, we can pick up that watch. And then if we don't need to equip it. We can equip it on our left wrist so we don't have to have it in our inventory. That tells us the time. Not only does a digital watch tell us the time, but it also tells us the temperature of the world and also the date. Both of these are come in handy because with the temperature, we'll know whether or not we need to wear additional layers of clothing when we go outside so we don't freeze to death. Let's just take a moment to finish this guy off. And also the date can tell us what time of year it is so we know whether or not to expect to need to wear any extra clothes. Our clothes have been torn apart whilst we've been wrestling these zombies, which is not great. It means it's reduced the protection we're receiving from them. So the minute we get access to a new pair of trousers, we're going to do that. Let's just open this door, go back around and close it. Oh, that was close. Didn't expect that. So, fighting zombies is all well and good, but it's very risky of getting scratched. If you throw a zombie to the floor instead of trying to fight him head on, you will decrease your chances of getting scratched. He can't scratch you if he's on his back. I am a little overwhelmed by that little interaction there, so we're going to hit pause a second while we loot some of these cupboards. So there is some tin food and stuff in here which would come in handy. We're not going to start lugging it around. It's very close to our house anyway, so we don't really need to carry all of this stuff around. We could end up, you know, should we survive long enough, walling off this entire area to build as a base. We can utilize every bit of land as a farm then. But for the moment, I think we're a little ways away from doing that. A meat cleaver might come in handy. Empty bowl will come in handy for not only for collecting water in, but also eating out of. We are going to take the curtains from these windows because we want to put them up in our own house in the future. I also don't want... Oh, fresh carrots. We'll take that. Kitchen knife we'll take. Steaks we'll take. Salt we'll take because that will come in handy for preparing food. So food not only... Oh, we're going to remove those. We're going to let this zombie in a second. Is he out of this door here? He's nearby somewhere. Not entirely sure where at the moment. Probably outside the front door. If we... Let's just go out and have a look. Oh dear. These sounds could already be in the house, actually. I can't remember what I was saying. There he is. So let's bring him over here and take him out quickly. Gold necklace. Nothing useful. We could probably pick up this zombie. And then dispose of his body somewhere in the future. Not going to try and do that now. Oh, fuck. Come on. Get away from me. Anyway, so we've got a few houses nearby that we can loot through. There's definitely food in this one. If we can pick up this corpse, we should be able to get rid of it. So grab the corpse. Jump out of the window. We're going to just go and dump it in the corner over here. If we leave corpses around, they attract flies, which in turn make us quite ill, which we don't want. If we pile up bodies together, we can, at a later date, burn them so that they are gone forever. Close that window as well. And we'll finish looting through this house. What else have we got over here? There is a bookshelf there, but we're not accessing it for some reason. Carpentry Volume 1, a pencil, which could come in handy. Don't need any of that right now. I think... No. Okay, I was going to say I think our rolling pin is gone, but it is not. We could use a knife as a weapon, but it does require allowing zombies to get very close in order for it to be useful. Our rolling pin is doing okay at the moment. It's probably on its last legs. But we'll keep hold of it for the meantime, and always check your alarms. If you've set an alarm on your clock, sorry, if you have found a clock and you don't check it, the alarm may go off at some time, and that will attract zombies to your location. Not something you want happening by surprise. There's more curtains there. Let's take those. Alarm clocks can also come in quite handy to use as a distraction against zombies. If you set an alarm somewhere, I think that we're going to wear that lumberjack shirt. It's very me. T-shirt. We're going to wash that and then we're going to use it. What are these pants like? Wind resistance, bite resistance. Let's wear those because our trousers are a bit knackered, aren't they? We could do with grabbing a drink. A suitcase is a good container. So this is our first carryable container that we can lug around with us. If we pop items in our suitcase, it will distribute the weight that we're carrying a little bit. Let's pop our meat in there and our foods, and it will mean that we can carry things a bit easier. Let's dump that alarm clock on the floor. We don't need to carry that with us. Okay, any other containers in this room? It doesn't look like it at the moment. And there's one more room here. Some sheets, some soap, which is very handy. Bath towel might come in handy. Tweezers. So tweezers come in handy because if we were to get an injury that involves something stuck in us, such as glass from climbing through a broken window, we'll need the tweezers to pull that out. We've had a drink. We are peckish, so we might go downstairs, grab a quick bite to eat before we leave this area. I can't remember where the stairs are. Just casually walking around the zombie apocalypse, rolling pin in one hand, briefcase in the other. No worries. Some antidepressants. We discussed those before. We will take that black hair dye, just in case we feel like changing our look. We'll take more antidepressants. Sleeping tablets will come in handy. Remove those curtains. What did we want to wash? I think there was a t-shirt we wanted to wash, didn't we? If we wash that, we can ditch these pants actually. So that t-shirt now is clean. We should be able to rip it up into bandages. They might be wet now though. So we've got ripped sheets, which we can now use as bandages. Where are our jeans? Let's equip those. We took off the wrong trousers. How do we do that? I don't understand. I thought we put fresh jeans on. We did. Did we tear up the wrong clothes? Is that what's happened? Never mind. Can't be helped. Done now. Anyway, on to the next house. Just check that there's not too much going on around us. We were going to eat, weren't we? That's what we were going to do. Shove him. Stamp on his head. A map of a different area. or another area in the same area. Let's get back in and eat something quickly before we carry on. We're quite peckish, and that could end up being detrimental to us. So we take advantage of the proximity of some food. Let's eat this processed cheese. Not the healthiest, I imagine, but it's going to do some filling up of our stomach. We won't eat the lime. We know that there's some zombies down here that we don't want seeing us. Oh, just open the window and climb out. A lot of actions are done with the same key, so it can sometimes really screw you over trying to press the same key for multiple actions. We could climb over this fence. It is risky that we do risk... Oh, we dropped our suitcase, our briefcase, in order to climb that. We also didn't get injured, which is great. Put that back in your hands, please. Okay, so jumping over the fence with a suitcase in your hand was a bad idea. We'll just climb over the hedge here and see if we can tackle any zombies that are nearby. Good, he didn't spot us. We stayed hidden. Let's just hope that this house is also empty. You haven't spotted me, have you? I hope not. Anybody in here? Let's have a quick look through a couple of the downstairs windows. Check that it's all clear. One, oh, no, she has spotted us. She's dead. Baggy jeans. I think we'll wear those. They might protect us a little bit. And let's ditch these bloody jeans. It sounds like there's a zombie in here somewhere. Don't know where, but there is somebody in here. Whilst we're in here, we're going to switch to Life and Living TV just so that, you know, if there's any useful programs on, we'll pick up some of the knowledge from it. A comic book will come in handy for keeping us sane. First Aid Volume 2. We'll definitely be able to make use of that in the future. Not so much right now, though. There's a video game there. Nice. Nothing on the shelves in here. Some good baking items, an orange soda and a pop, which we'll get down us in a little while. I don't know that we need a corkscrew in an apocalypse. Okay, there's somebody in this building. I think he might be upstairs then. Bath tower, hairspray, razor, sewing kit. I did see a sewing kit somewhere, right? Let's grab that. That should be useful. Be able to repair any damaged clothes we've got. One of these doors will be rattling. Hopefully. There's only one zombie in it, not multiple. Adhesive bandages, base blockers, vitamins. These are all useful items. But but only if we manage to stay alive. Let's pop that leather jacket in our briefcase for the moment. In the future, it will be very useful. Crossword magazine. Okay. Well, we've spotted where our zombie is up here. Can we tackle him though in this building? Let's drag him downstairs. There we go. One dead zombie. Let's go back up and check what room he was guarding. There could be something useful in it. Electronics magazine. Excellent. So what will that do for us? That'll teach us to make a remote control. Remote control volume version 1, version 2, version 3. That's really useful. We're going to read that quickly while we're stood here. We've got some scrap electronics and a video game that could come in handy. Oh, we can fast forward through reading. That will save us a bit of time. And let's pop these items in our suitcase. I'm not sure what use we'll make out of electronics at the moment. But better to have them and not need them, eh? How about this lamp? Turn that off. And can we pick it up? We can put that back, can't we, that magazine? Currently we are disassembling this lamp for whatever purpose. It might come in handy in the future. We can use the... Oh, we failed to receive any useful items from it and from any useful materials. But I think the act of engaging with it will have been helpful for us. Let us drink our orange soda, both to quench our thirst and maybe fill up our stomach a little bit from our peckishness. And we'll drink this one as well. A lot of fizzy beverages today. We fill up our briefcase. We've got loads of room in our briefcase. We do have a light bulb from our lamp. That's at least something useful. And we'll put our rubbish in this drawer. And we can dismantle the video games. So that could be useful for us as well to work on our electronic skill. I think there's one more house in the area. Maybe 2 more houses. Maybe we'll just explore one more for the day, and we might call it a day before we risk our necks. Let's equip our rolling pin. That's what we were mucking about with when we were grabbing the lamp. Let's check these cars. Can we get into either of them? What's in the glove box? A pencil. Nothing in the boot. What have we got in here? A battery and a rope. A rope could come in handy for escaping from our home if we need to run upstairs. We can run up the stairs and then throw a rope out of the window to make sure that we've got an escape route. XP multiplier for metal work. Good. Carpentry we'll take. Carpentry's going to come in handy eventually. Not right this moment, but definitely eventually. Plastic cup, red wine. We're not going to get into heavy drinking during the apocalypse. And that's a downward spiral that we don't want to begin. We really did cock that up though. can we put all of these in our suitcase? Briefcase. I'm gonna grab as much of this food. That's it. That's all we can afford to take with us. Some beef jerky, which we can eat straight away. Just grabbing a bit of food into our belly before we make a move. And then we'll try and kite these zombies away with us. Frying pan might have been a better weapon, actually. Much of a muchness. They're very similar in damage. We can drag these zombies off this back door. We might not want to be dragging them into the house with us, though. Ooh, that was very close. We took a bit of a fright there. Let's run away. Let's get rid of these zombies and see if we can't survive a little bit longer than we have. We are unpleasantly hot because we have too many clothes on. Let's have a look. What are we wearing? The lumberjack shirt and the baggy jeans. There is a medical facility just there. That's really useful. There are some other useful buildings right next to it as well, I think, there. Let's see if we can get an eye on them and see what they are. At the moment, it's not the most important thing, so we'll avoid that. Let's just take this guy out. Speedo, useful. We are not going to go and explore the medical center yet. We need to stay alive. It's getting to 8 o'clock at night. Granted, that's not quite bedtime yet, but we've got time to get back, do a little light reading, maybe prepare a half decent meal, and any other final things we want to do before bed / the end of the episode. Might need to drag this zombie with us just to finish her off. Just check there's nobody that's wandered over to our house. Which does happen. The zombies do migrate towards you. Just I guess as a means to keep the action going. This is our house and they seem to have migrated over here. Indeed. Get down. Come on, die. Very good. Have you got anything useful on you? No. Just a couple more zombies to finish off. And then we're relatively in the clear, I think. Good. Now, we'll get inside. We'll chuck a couple of curtains up to protect our dignity, if you will. And then we're safe. If we hang some sheets on every serviceable door and window. Those are all blocked. Add sheet. Close curtains. I think there's only one more in this room. There might be a couple more. There's 2 more there. And we've got maybe 2 sheets, I think. I'm sure the light itself drags attention to us. So the less light that we're giving out into the world, the less chance we've got of zombies specifically migrating towards us. I think. Let's have a quick drink of water. That'll help. Is that all the kitchen windows covered? Excellent. So I guess that all that remains is for us to finish the night. Well, I'm going to unpack some of our stuff into the appropriate areas of the house, and we might do a bit of light reading, and then we'll hop back on for the morning, and we'll probably do a bit of cooking so we can see how that goes. I've been Arsnip Candy Gaming. You've been bloody marvelous as always. Thanks very much for joining me for a new game for the channel. It might have been a bit rambling. It might have been a little distracted and boring. I don't know. Please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Let me know down below if this was too boring, if there was insufficient information about specific elements of the game. I'm more than happy to try and educate. If you can see that I'm a bumbling buffoon and I've missed very obvious things that I should have been sharing, drop those down below as well. I do look forward to sharing more experiences with you soon. You take care now. Bye bye.